Alright guys, so I just want to go through and talk about what product to order. We order from Novelty Lights, so I was just going to run through this website. So if, like I mentioned, we can get you bulk pricing plus an additional 5%. Essentially what you need to do, guys, is come up here and register. Create your username, password, just get registered with Novelty. And once you do that, let me know, and I will notify the owners of the company that you're registered. They'll go in and they'll tack on the group. Well, basically the bulk pricing plus I believe an additional 5%. So don't need a lot of info, just fill out all the information, get all registered. Okay, so if I go back to the home page, so if the first thing you need to do is decide whether you're going to use C9s or C7s, and that's just a choice that you should probably make and stick with it. But basically what you're going to do is, let's say you decide to run with C7, so you're just going to click on the C7 LED Christmas lights, and they break it down pretty simply for you. It's going to be typically we go with the steady burn. We don't really do the twinkling, and we don't buy the light sets with them already in it, but we just go with the steady burn bulbs. So they come in cases of 500. A box has 25, or a case has 500 bulbs. So let's assume like the warm white tends to be the most prevalent. Alright, so I'm just going to go with the warm white here. And like I said, here's the breakdown of prices, and you'll get the bulk pricing. So in this case it would be $18.85 plus an additional 5% off that, okay, instead of just buying, these other quantities. But essentially, 1,000 feet is going to equate to 40 boxes. So I'm just going to add that. Okay, and then I'm going to continue shopping. So you're going to order your bulbs. This is the most common. We usually let people choose their color or color combinations, but if you want to just streamline and do white and multi, you could do that, but white's going to be the most common. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the home page. So besides the bulbs, you're going to need clips, and you're going to need, I'll go back to the C7s here. Alright, so C7s, if you scroll down, it'll give us the wire, the bulk reels. So if I click on that, I always buy them in 1,000 foot, it's just cheaper. So there's SPT1, which is this 10 amp, 12-inch spacing. We typically go 12. You could do 15-inch as well. We definitely goes 15 on most commercial, but you could do 15 on houses as well. Save a little bit of product cost on your bulbs. Say 15 to 20% if you go with the 15-inch spacing. The 8 amp is a little bit more affordable. That's the SPT1, and this is SPT2. So remember, the 1 is a little less insulation, and the price is a little bit cheaper. If you're not doing really big installs, SPT1 is a really good wire to use. It's just a little bit easier to work with. Obviously not as thick. Half the thickness is an SPT2. So one spool, thinking about 1,000 feet. I think the average house we do probably is 175 feet of light if we just do the front roof line. So you can probably do about 5 houses per spool, if that kind of gives you an idea of how much product you should be getting. So, but again, what I would recommend sometimes is, go with SPT1 or SPT2 and just stick with it. And that way you're not mixing and matching different plugs, different jump wires, things like that, right? So in this case, let's just assume we're going to do SPT, doesn't even matter, just go SPT1. Sorry, this is 2. Alright, so I'm just going to add one of those to my cart. I'm going to continue shopping. Alright, so we've got the bulbs, we've got the wire. just going to go to Christmas lights now. We're going to need clips, and we're going to go down. I'm just going to click on Christmas light clips. So they have a couple different clips available. So we talk about each one of these. Let me just give you a quick rundown. The all-in-one is the most popular. You can use this for gutter and under shingles. They don't. The only thing that isn't awesome about them is when you pull the lights down, the clips don't stay on very well if they're under the shingle. If they're on the gutter, they stay on. These shingle tabs, if you want, you could use these single tabs on where you're just sliding your clip under the shingle. That will not work for the roof, or sorry, for the gutters. It's just to slide under the shingles. Alright, we mostly use these. They also just came out with a new one called Tough Clips that you screw on, and it's like this, but it's a circle that goes around you screw the light onto, so they'll actually come off when you pull them off. We ordered a bunch of these actually. These all-in-one Omnis. They're supposed to stay on better when you pull them off, but I'll tell you what we've used that are actually really good. And I don't know if they have any. These are really hard to get though. Actually, I think we just bought them all. Actually, we just bought 8,000 of these. The all-in-one clips plus. If these are ever available, these are really good. They stay on really tight. They hold really, really well. We just actually bought all of them last night. We bought 8,000 of them. But we, for now, I would get the all-in-one clips. And that will get you underneath all the shingles. That will get you on all the gutters. You can just use one clip for everything. They're really cheap. Also take a look at Tough Clips if you want a longer term clip that stays on the bulb. You can also use the shingle tabs. They're going to stay on better when you slide them under the shingles because you screw them on. Okay? Alright, so I'm just going to throw these in here. Again, these come in bags of 25. And kind of super cheap. So I'm going to throw on 20. Let's see, so 40 of these, another 1,000 feet, but okay. Alright, and the other thing we're going to need is some zip wire, and we're going to need some plugs, okay. Alright, so power accessories is the fastest way to get there from here. So the male and female vampire plugs is what we're looking for. Alright, and we ordered the SPT2. So we're going to need SPT2 female sockets and male sockets. And what I'd recommend here, get plenty of these. You go through these guys like candy. So an initial order on this, I would probably say 200 of each. And we're going to need the male here. I'm just going to click on the male. Alright, so this is going to kind of, what I like about this is going to kind of tell you other things you might need, right? As you're going through this, so we've got the female, the male. We are going to need this jump wire. Alright, so the SPT2 jump wire as well. And this is a 1,000-foot spool, so I'm going to throw one of these on there. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to go get an extension cord, basically reel, just like one of those portable reels, and I get they're like at Home Depot, they're the HDX, and they're like orange, and I just roll up that, so I'm not carrying a big old box of this wire around. It's really convenient, comes off really quick, so I'll just kind of rewind that up. Alright guys, so let's take a look at our shopping cart. Alright guys, so again, 1,000 feet of light is 40 boxes. We've got a 1,000-foot spool. We've got all-in-one clips. Okay, and then we've got the male and the female sockets. You're going to need some electrical tape. would be the other thing that you're going to want to add to your order list. So electrical tape, and then you're going to need some snips and some channel locks and some needle nose. Typically, I'll usually carry all of those. Also, what I'd recommend that you pick up is you can get little rolls of electrical tape that are different colors. You'll want to use those to mark the plugs. So if you plug in a male and a female, you want to mark both of those as blue. And then in your next connection, do those as red, then white, but don't use the same color on the same house. But you can use multiple colors together, so like red and white, blue and white, right? So different combinations, just to make sure you know which plug goes where. But this is your basic order list. You're also going to need some timers. Let me just jump over here. Let's take a quick look at the power accessories again. And so timers, you can pick those up at Home Depot. I always try to get like the 15 amp timers. Just get the higher amperage guys, just to be safe. So outdoor timers, we've bought a bunch of these. I've bought a bunch from Home Depot. So on small jobs, and it looks like these are out of stock, but these timers we've bought, and we get some from Home Depot as well. So timers, I wouldn't recommend getting the digital. It's really not worth it. But 15 amp timers is what we try to shoot for. This timer here has like a double plug, so on the bottom of this you can plug in, let me see if it has a picture here, you can plug in, like two circuits. So I like to get these ones that we can plug two different circuits into this, but make sure it's a 15 amp. Alright, so let me just add, this could probably do about up to maybe as many as 7 houses if they're smaller. Just gonna throw that on there. Alright, so this is basically your shopping cart to get started. Alright, that's 1,000 feet of light, and that'll do about 5 to 7 houses. Okay, and cost on this guy, looking at roughly $1,700, but that's not getting all the discounts. Okay, but once we get you approved, it'll be less than that. Okay, so $1,700, and average light job I would say is like $800. So, 8 times. Yeah, okay, that looks right. All right, guys. So hopefully that helps as far as an initial shopping cart of stuff. What I like to do is when I sell a job, I try to figure out what kind of lights that they want, what color they want. And I usually will book them out like a week, so I know I can order those lights and have them available for the install. And with Novelty lights, they ship next day. Okay. All right. Hopefully that helps as far as what you need to buy to get started.